So you're still in the same spot now, or have you moved around?
I am in Vancouver at this moment.
Are you thinking
Yeah,
about traveling?
I prefer Chile, man. If I'm being very honest, I prefer Chile. Yeah,
Yeah.
I miss family and everything. So Vancouver is all right, and I could escape the winter. But yeah, Chile. I really like Chile.
Yeah, I got to get down there, and that's definitely on my list for sure.
You're from Toronto, right?
I'm from Halifax, but I moved to Toronto a while ago. Looks like we got
Right.
some people. Let's go. Here we are. Welcome, folks. Good to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. As always, let me know if you're taking the time to watch this live, hashtag live. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. If you have any topics, I'm going to be doing a lot more lives, a lot more of the student success, but also a lot more training based on what the people want, not what the trainers want. So much of the training is based around what the trainers want to teach. We have to start listening to the people and putting the power back into the people of this industry, because that's what makes it operate. For too long, there's been a select few people that make the majority of money in this industry, selling people whatever they want. We have to start speaking up and working together and collaborating like we do in UCM. So anything that you want me to talk about, light up the comments, and if I pick your topic, I'll give you a free one-on-one. How about that? Cool. All right, we got some people tuning in. I love it. This is when I started thinking about student success and started thinking about doing more of these lives. This was top of the list, top of the food chain for many reasons. I think obviously the success, the numbers, the results. That's what everybody wants, of course. But even deeper than that, I think for a couple reasons. One is I love the evolution in this coaching space, that the typical salesperson that we all think of and that we all know, like there's more diversity in this coaching sales than ever before. And the other reason was a lot of the excuses that a lot of people come to me. This person had all those excuses, all those reasons why it wouldn't work, all those fears, right? Every reason why not to, and they still made it happen. And I love stories like that. I love the underdog story. I love, the non-typical person coming in and dominating. And to me, this is a perfect example. Rodolfo, I appreciate you coming in. My
Thanks,
man, how
man.
you doing?
I'm doing great, man, and thanks a lot for that introduction.
Of course, man. Of course. So let's start from the very beginning. Let's go back. How the heck did you get into remote high ticket sales in the first place?
Right. So it was like 3 years ago that I started my journey. I was working in a very big company, the usual story. I was paying the bills, everything was okay. But then I was seeing some kids on TikTok doing some dances, making more money than me. And I was like, this is not good, right? Like I went to college, I got a degree and everything, but there are people in the online space doing great. And I wanted to be a digital nomad. That was like my dream. That was my dream, and my purpose was to inspire other people, right? I really wanted to help other people, inspire them to see that, yeah, we can have so much more from life. So it was middle of the pandemic. I decided to quit my job. My parents were like, hey, what are you doing? What the hell? No, stay, wait for the pandemic. But I just felt it was the right moment. I first started as soon as I quit my job, I enrolled into a digital marketing school in Spain, where I created my own offer. I helped people like expose themselves on video, on camera. I was scared of doing it, but at least I was willing to do it. And the community I was in, they were very scared. So that was my first offer. And although I made sales for my offer, like I was comparing myself to others, right? Like I didn't have the mindset, I think, of like just staying on my track on my own journey. So it was like, I should be so farther ahead. I'm not good at this. I didn't really know what to do. And I didn't really resonate with that offer I had. So then the school I started my journey, was looking for closers, and I had done the sales module, and I was like, oh, I really like this module. So I applied, I got selected, and then that's how everything started. That was my first offer. And then, I was like a closer for a year and a half in Latin America, in Spain. And then 6 months ago, I joined UCM, and the rest is story.
Woo! Yeah, I remember our talk very well. I remember remember the first thing I picked up on was like the vision, right? You had these visions, but I could also feel anchored in some fear and some doubt and some unknown. Like you qualify as what I call like a dreamer, right? You knew there was possibility, but I felt the first thing I felt was like, that's all great, but what about me, right? Like, what are my limitations, or what might prevent me from doing? I know people can do it. I know it's a possibility, but what about me? And I remember also a big concern of yours was like that comfort of selling in the Spanish market, right? That was a big concern for you. So that year and a half, that was all in the Spanish market, right?
Yes, yes, it was. It was like 6 months with my own offer, then like a year and a
Mm.
half closing in Spanish, and then yeah.
Yeah. And what was your best month commission wise in the Spanish market?
Well, my best month was like working 3 offers. I remember I made 17 sales, and it was like $2,500 in commissions, and it was crazy, man. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this.
Amazing.
If I can just be consistent, make like this amount of money every month, I'm set up. It was the dream.
Mm,
But after that month, yeah, the next 2 months were $500. So it was
mm,
like, oh, a
yeah.
very good month, and then back to nothing.
Mm. And so how did you find UCM in the first place?
I don't really remember. I think it was someone I was working with in the Spanish market that told me, hey, take a look at this group. It was like as simple as that. And at first it was like, I was taking a look, and it was like, oh, this is interesting, but this is in the English market. I'm doing my thing in the Spanish market. My end goal has always been to be like a public speaker. I want to then in the future be in events, speaking and everything. So it was, no, if I do it, I will do it in Spanish. I mean, I know how to speak English, but I don't like it too much. My accent is weird. And so far I've had practice, when I joined UCM, like my English was way worse, I would say. I have been practicing as well.
That's
So yeah,
beautiful.
man.
I love it. And so what was it that made you want to take the leap? Because again, a lot of people have those fears and have those limiting beliefs, and a lot of people never get over that, right? That becomes the reason why not to. So what was it that pushed you over the edge and made you want to join UCM?
Well, when I joined UCM, I was in a very bad spot. I was like $20,000 in debt. I was like to my last money. I was also living in Vancouver, like with $500 per month. Like pretty much I was surviving, right? And that was enough to pay my bills, but it was like what are my options, right? Like, what's the option? Like, staying here is not an option. Staying here is more scary to me than facing whatever fear I have to face. So it was like that decision of, there's no option. Like, my only plan B was actually like to go into Australia to like do anything, like get a working holiday, work of whatever I could find to pay the bills I had or the debt, because that was very like stressing. And then to keep on trying. Like, to me, there was never like this has always been my plan A. Even if it didn't work here, I would keep on trying until it worked. So it was always like it has to work someday, right?
And I know it's a while back, but do you remember your first couple days, couple weeks in UCM? Were you surprised by anything or anything you noticed early on?
Well, I really like I also remember I spoke with Sam the first time, and I told him my story, and he told me, hey, man, to me, it sounds that you just need a good offer. I mean, you've already been like in Spanish market, like in 15 offers, maybe 20 offers, because the Spanish market is a little bit different than the English one. So it's very normal, like if you are closer, to have many offers, because they're very short span. But he told me, yeah, to me, it sounds like you just need the right offer. And to me, it made sense, And then I also saw you. I joined one of the Jumpstart calls, and it was like you told your story about how you started networking, you find a good offer that you didn't get better. You didn't get like 40 times better, right? But you started making way more money. To me, it was like, hey, this makes sense. And I have gone through so much sales training, and it was always like that. Hey, if I'm not hitting my numbers, it's me. I need to be better. My sales skills are not there. So I was always like following other sales trainers, what they were saying, and I was very confused, right? Because there's so much information. So instead of believing in myself, I'm believing in the sales trainers, right? And then when I joined UCM, it was very different, right? It was, hey, network, get a good offer, and then we will figure out, well, the performance aspect and get your mindset right? I remember John for me was very important as well. I remember I had a one-on-one call, and he destroyed a lot of the fears I had. I made a decision in that call. I remember I was like, okay, I will just do it. I will just do what I have to do. Remember also you mentioned that making that decision, that I will be successful at this. I will do whatever I have to do. I will decide to be successful. Of course, I won't put my integrity on the line, but if I have to do it, I will do it. I kind of make that same decision. I will go all in. I will apply the strategies. To me, it makes sense. Hey, network, get a good offer, and figure out from there, what's the next step.
Yeah, I think that's so important. I talk about that often, and I try and remember to bring it up often because it's such an important thing. When entering something new, every time there's a challenge or a roadblock, or people look back and like, oh, did I make the wrong decision? Should I give up? Should I quit? And it's like constantly, every corner, you're going to have to make that decision again and again and again. And I realized at one point, I make the decision once. What is this worth to me? And then I don't have to make it again. So for me, it was, if it doesn't go against my morals and I don't hurt anybody intentionally, it's worth it. Everything else, if I have to lose sleep, if I have to work long hours to get to a point where my life has changed forever, it's worth it. Yes. Once I made that decision, I didn't have to keep making it again. And I kind of remember a turning point. Like, I know you came in, you were friendly, you were very supportive, and you were a great student asking a lot of questions. But I remember a turning point where you got really determined and even more driven and started to dial it up. I think kind of after some of the ideas started hitting, and maybe it was seeing other students. But, what do you feel was the most impactful thing that kind of turned that heat up? Do you remember a moment or learning something, or what was it that kind of turned it to that next level?
Well, I would say maybe it's a couple of things. Well, it definitely was having all the support of the community, right? Like feeling supported, feeling, hey, these guys got my back, right? Like if I have questions, if I have struggles, they will really help me. They really care about me. And that was very different to all of the mentorships I have done, where it's pretty much you do it yourself. They really care about me. The call with John, then that was also like a game changer for me. It was like, okay, I'm going all in. After that call, it was like, I will put the content, I will do what cares. If people think anything, or I don't care anymore, I'm in this spot, I need to do something. And then I would say it was also like getting my first offer, which was a beach rent, which I stayed there for 1 month, but it also helped me. It was a good transition. It's not an offer that I really like, but it was a very good transition because I made my first sales in English. So I know, hey, I destroyed a limiting belief. And then I started destroying one limiting belief after another. And then I had a lot of momentum. I was seeing the success. And I started believing, it was like I started having way more confidence. Also, I would say it was the situational selling, because I was so confused for so much sales training. This is the structure, follow this methodology. Then I remember I heard you and Natalie talk about situational selling. And for me, it was like, hey, if everything is situational, then fuck it, right? Like, who cares about scripts? Who cares about anything? I have to trust in myself. I have to use my own intuition when I'm in the calls. It's not like a script will guide me. I have to trust in myself, and there's no other option. And that was very freeing for me, because I'd rather just trust in myself than being following rules. So that also helped me a lot. And I would say it has also been key to performance now. Whenever I'm doubting, of course, I still want to learn from others, but ultimately I have to do what makes sense to me. I have to keep authentic with myself, trust in myself, and that will be the best guide always. So it's been hard because I want to keep on being coachable. I know I have a lot to learn still, but I can't let others people's opinion or others people's experience get in the way of what I feel, what makes sense to me.
That's so important, man. It's so important. There's a lot of gold nuggets there, but I think we always have to have a filter, and we have to be open, like you said, and mindful and learn from different people. But at the end of the day, we have to filter it in what works for us and find the principles and adapt it to our strategy. You're in a very different offer than most sell-ons. So the typical sales approach, I remember hearing a sales trainer basically rip on your sales process and be like, oh, 3 calls is stupid, this is stupid, that's stupid, it's a waste of time. And I'm like, they haven't even figured out that this is a $5 million a month company. They haven't figured out. But again, everybody's quick to judge and quick to say, like, especially anything that falls out of their way, they'll say, oh, they'll just write it off. But there's many different ways to go about this. And again, absorbing it, but filtering it to work for you. I think that's huge. And the thing that you said about limiting beliefs, that is so important. It's okay to have limiting beliefs. It's not okay to let them live there. And we should be tackling them, and we should be proving them wrong. Because if it's a limiting belief, if it's a limiting fact, it should be easy to prove that it is a limiting factor. Right. But if it's a limiting belief, it's very easy to prove wrong just by getting that traction and the momentum, which I love, man. It's been amazing. So what the people want to know, right? When you came to me, it was about $1,500 a month was, I remember, being the average, right? 2,500 would be like an amazing best month ever. And 500 a month wasn't unheard of, right? So what has been your best month recently?
Well, last month I did like 18K. It's been the best I've done so far, but of course I want to break that as well. But it's been crazy, man. I mean, whole last year I made like 12K. So it's like, yeah, it's like, what the hell? It's still unreal. It literally is unreal. I don't want to boast, right? But I have a lot of money I don't know what to do with. So now I'm like,
that's a good problem, man. That's a good problem.
Yeah, I'm getting into real estate now, but it's like so many options open of so many other things I can do. But it's crazy. It's crazy. It's literally, I don't know. It's still unreal, man. It's still unreal. I mean, of course, when you get started in this journey, you always like aim for that numbers. And I wanted to be a millionaire when I first started, but then it like happens that you break like that barrier, and it's like, what the hell is going on, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been the best month so far, and I have a very consistent months as well. I know I can keep on improving my process as well, but it's been life changing. I mean, UCM has literally changed everything for me. Yeah, I don't even have words like to describe the gratitude I have for you, for Hunter, for John, for the community. Everyone wants to see you win. I want to see win everyone. I also like to take this philosophy on my calls with my prospects, because I want to see them win as well, right?
Yeah.
And that's what this game is all about for me, at least. I like being like a normal person, you know. I don't want to be like the guru or anything, or like, oh, the successful guy. I'm just a normal guy. And I just had the good mentorship. I had the good steps. I applied. Yeah, but before, man, I wasn't in a good place. So I really believe that this can happen for anyone, right?
Yeah, it definitely can. But I mean, to give yourself the credit, right? Again, I always say everybody has the same platform. Everybody has access. Like anybody in UCM has the same access, but you showed up to every call. And the one thing I noticed was you had well thought out action-based questions. And that's what I always look at. I'm obsessed with seeing who succeeds and who struggles and who's slower and who's faster. And the one trigger that I know someone's on the right path is when they're coming with action-based questions. And for anybody watching that doesn't know what that is, it's basically, hey, I took this action and maybe I didn't get the result that I want. What should I do next? How can I adjust this? It's thoughtful, because a lot of people, what they do is they ask questions before they take any action because they want to avoid any mistakes. The people who are able to take messy, uncomfortable actions and then bring that data to us and we can make adjustments on the fly, those people move so much faster. And so for a solid like 5-6 months, you were at every call, every day, question, like each day you'd implement what you learned yesterday and you'd be like, hey, it's kind of working, but what do I do now? And we were just building, I could see that momentum day by day. And that's a testament to a student mentality, discipline, determination, drive. And I think the humbleness is really important clue for a lot of people, in that being able for people to rally behind you, because you weren't like, I'm this, I'm doing that. Even now you're producing most people's dream results and it's like, I'm just a regular guy. I think there's a magic to that, because then people want to cheer for you. A lot of people come in and they want to be the authority and they want to be the expert and listen to me. And then all of a sudden people start to get jealous or envious or like, who does this guy think he is? And they start to pull you down. If you can come in and just say, I'm still learning, I'm just a regular person, then all of a sudden you become a symbol of what other people think can happen for them. And they want to see you succeed because it gives them belief in themselves. And you've always been so humble and so supportive of other students and really just rallying behind other people. It's been amazing to watch your journey. Yeah, I can't say enough good things, man. I'm so happy when you think about it, man, like what you used to do in a year and a half, you've done in 1 month.
It's crazy.
That's life changing for so many people.
It's
And
crazy.
I think it's important to realize that you're closer than it seems sometimes, right? We think in gradual terms like, oh, I'm making 2K now, so I have to work twice as hard to make 4K. And how long did it take me to get 4K? And then it will take me twice as long. I think for people watching in, like when you make the right decisions and you implement the right strategies, you're so much closer than you think. It doesn't have to take as long as you think it does. So any words of wisdom for the people tuning in? Anything that's been helpful in your journey? Any pro tips, secret sauce?
And pro tips, I would say maybe the number one tip is like it's part of the mindset stuff, right? Like not believing of all your thoughts, because I had all those limiting beliefs, my accent, oh, I'm a Latino, maybe they will discriminate me. I had all of that. It was a scary decision for me to start doing this in English. So it's not believing all your thoughts, and it's also like to keep showing up, right? Because ultimately, I feel like for me, what really stopped me from progressing was my own emotions. Because some days, if I feel bad, in the past, I would be, oh, I feel bad, and I would go to watch some Netflix, feeling bad about life. Nothing goes how I want it to go. Why me? And we start victimization and everything. And in UCM, I also made that decision of I will just show up every day. And some days I'm here, some days are here. I will just keep on showing up. And some days I still doubt about myself. I still have fears. I keep on showing up. I just made that decision. And I allow myself to feel my emotions. I don't run away from them anymore. Hey, if I feel bad, I feel bad. And I can be present with that, feel the feeling, and keep on doing my thing. But it's just showing up every day. It's just making that decision. And overall, like here, remember when I started as well, as I was bugging Hunter every day, every question I had, mindset, whatever it was, I was always asking him. So I had that support as well that allowed me to keep on showing up until, of course, I reach a point of where I'm more self-reliant. And of course, I still have mentors. I want to have them forever and everything. I still attend the calls. And maybe not so often, but for me, it's very important to keep on coming because, of course, I don't have everything figured out. And I know challenges will keep on appearing, but I will keep on showing up and reaching out for help whenever I need it. That's another thing that's so important. Sometimes we're scared of asking for help because we may look weak or whatever. But that's the key. That's the key. It's like if you have mentors, it's because there are people that are steps ahead of you. And that's the thing, in UCM, I never feel like, oh, maybe they will laugh at me or they will like reject my feelings. They will help. And everyone, the mentors, the community. So it's, also asking for help. If you need the help, if you need the support, ask for that help.
I love it, man. I love it. You're dropping some bombs on the people today. I think one of the most important things, whether you do remote sales, affiliate marketing, copywriting, start your own business, doesn't matter. The ability to separate emotions from decisions is like number one. When people feel bad, they make bad decisions. When people feel good, they make good decisions. And that's a roller coaster. Being able to allow yourself to feel shitty, to feel bad, to have an off day, but stay on track and stay consistent with your actions and your decisions and say, I don't have to feel good to do good things. That is like a trick to life that most people don't figure out until it's too late. And I think that's so important. And the idea of asking for help, it's fine if you're a 4-year-old learning to tie your shoes, like I can do it myself, mom, that's great. But we're at a point now where there's no power in figuring it out your own. Like, fine, you can celebrate alone and you can be alone in all your victories, but there is no, and we're starting to see it even more, that the collaborative effort, everybody who joins us, whether it's inside UCM or in the community, like no one can compete as an individual compared to 100 people working together and collaborating. Like it's just so hard. That's when you look in your campaign or other big campaigns and you see 23 UCM students with 7 more and coming in, like
It's the best.
that collaborative effort is just untouchable. So I think asking for help and supporting each other and collaborating, there's a power in that as well. I know you're probably busy. I know you guys keep a full schedule there, but I guess the last question, is there anything that you would say to someone who may be on the fence about getting help, whether it's through UCM or not, but just getting help or is on the edge or struggling? What would be your final words?
Go for it. I mean, I don't think that there's any other answer to that. Like, even if it's UCM, our mentor tips is like, yeah, get mentors. I mean, it's the trick to life. It's the trick to going fast. People that are there where you want to be, they know something you don't know. So for me, it's very interesting because sometimes, I speak with people daily, of course, that although they are not in the best situation, they keep on taking the same decisions that will keep them stuck there, right?
Mm.
Like, no, I feel bad. My life is a mess, but I don't do anything to change it. To me, that's very surprising. I really can't understand, because for me, staying in the same position was very scary. That's why I was investing in so many mentorships, because I really wanted that breakthrough. So if you are on the fence, it's like, well, what's the alternative, right? Like, what's the alternative to not going for what you want in life? And I'm very aware of the fact that I will die, and I say this like in a good sense. It's like time is really limited. And I wish like hell it would be great to be 20 years old and experiencing the results I'm experiencing now. I'm 30 and it's all right, right? I still have a lot of time and everything, but then I will be 40, and one day I will be 50, and then 60, and then one day I will be old, or my health won't be at the same place. So time is running out, and ultimately we have one life to make the most out of it. We have to take risks. And curious thing is that I feel like life is very weird, right? Because when you trust in life, it's like life gives you what you are looking for. But for me, risk is the trust in life, because ultimately when you take a risk, you are trusting that something will hold you behind that fear, or behind that risk. And to me, that has always proven right. If you take risks, that's the definition of faith. You take risks because hey, there's something behind that. So maybe I'm going like different ways,
I
but
love it, man.
ultimately it's just take the chance, man. It's one life, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think the
not getting out
riskiest thing you
alive.
can do is take no risks,
That's the
take
thing.
no risk, make no changes. That to me is the real risk. You've
Yeah.
dropped some mad wisdom. There you have it, folks. We're talking about going from making $12,000 in a year to $18K in a month, #1 dream offer. Every excuse, every reason not to, English second language, wrong location, wrong time zone, wrong limiting beliefs, and was able to accomplish because student mentality, commitment to change, and getting help. There it is. You got no excuses, nowhere to hide. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. I'll go through a little bit later. Rodolfo, I'm extremely, extremely proud of what you've been able to accomplish. It's a testament to your hard work and dedication. It's been an absolute honor to be a part of your journey from the side of mentorship. I'm so glad that you took the leap 6 months ago and joined us. And I mean, we're just getting started. So thank you for doing this. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man. I'm also ultra grateful to you for having created this, to Hunter, to John, to all the community, to Alvaro for referring me to that dream company. And overall, I'm ultra grateful, ultra happy as well. And to anyone watching that's thinking about it, it's like it's a no-brainer. I mean, UCM is completely unmatched. I have done many mentorships, and I have never seen like such a dedication for student success, that desires to see others succeed. I haven't seen that more in any other place than UCM. And I love like taking that feeling and that philosophy to my calls, because now I also feel that, like this is again where it's very meaningless to do this if you don't really want to see the people that you're speaking with succeed. So to me, UCM is like a testament of that. There's really that desire to see people succeed. And there's that love, it's all about that. It's about seeing that transformation. So thank you so much, man. We're only getting started, so let's keep on
People
going.
helping people, man. That's the name of the game. All right, folks, let me know if you need anything in the comments. Have a good day.
Have a good one.